We shall now take a look at a flowchart as to how we go about finding the smallest of three numbers. In order to understand the logic, take a look at this explanation. Let us say this is your mind. Okay, this is your mind, which is keeping track of the smallest value of the number. Let us say I have the first number A and I give it the value 3. According to your mind, which is the smallest number at present? It has to be 3 because you have not seen any other number. Now let's say the user enters the next number. Let me give it the name to that variable as B and let it be 7. Now your mind will compare 3 with 7 or 7 with 3, both mean the same. Your mind still says 3 is the smallest. Now what happens is, let's say now you begin to look at the third number, which happens to be C. Let us say it is minus 5. Now when minus 5 is compared with 3, obviously 3 is not smaller than minus 5. Then your mind replaces this 3 with minus 5. Now what is this logic we went about? Initially, my mind assumed A to be the smallest, okay, because it had not seen any other number. In the next step, what I did is I compared mind with B or B with mind. If B is lesser than mind, my mind changed the value of whatever was in it with the value of B, but in this case it was bigger, so we ignored it. After we process B, we come to C. We compare C with, or what is in C with mind. Once you compare what is in C with mind, obviously minus 5 is lesser than 3. So your mind erases 3 and puts minus 5 as the smallest. And when you print the value of the mind, it is going to print minus 5 as the output. So let us see how we go about drawing or doing this particular flowchart. So the first step, as usual for any flowchart, is going to have the start symbol. After you do the start, the next step is you are required to read the three numbers. So I am going to say read the values of A, comma, B, comma, C. After you read the values of A, B and C, I had told you we are making an assumption that the first number is the smallest because we are going to process one number at a time. So what did I do? I say small is A. Why this is a rectangle? Because this is an assignment. I am taking a value of A and giving it to small. Only input and output happen to be parallelogram. Now I am assumed the smallest to be A. Let me process B now. When I am processing B, what I am doing is I am going to ask the question, is B less than small? Okay. If B is less than small, it has to be either true or it has to be false. So let this be false or no. Let this be true or yes. If it is true, then what I am going to do here is I am going to change the value of small. I am going to say small is B. Then let me leave this hanging. I'll show you what we do next. Then I come here and I check for whether C is less than small. Checking whether C is less than small. Again, it can be false or no, or it can be true or yes. If it is true, then the new value of small is going to be C. And then last step, what I'm going to do is I am going to print the value of small. It is going to tell me which is the smallest. And then once I do this, I am going to come to a halt. All right. Now these fellows are left hanging. After I process B, I should come and connect it here. All right. So I connect it here. After I process C, I should connect it here. All right. Now this is true, false, or this is yes and no. How do we evaluate these values, or how do you evaluate that things are looking great? As usual, draw a table A, B, C and small. All right. Let us enter 2, 0 and minus 3. All right. These are the entries we make. Initially, In this step, A is assumed to be the smallest. So 2 is the smallest. None of these have to be touched. So A is processed. I'll put a tick next to A. Then I come here. I'm comparing B 0 with 2. Which is smaller? 0 is less than 2. This happens to be true. Since it happens to be true, I am changing the value of small with B. So my new smallest happens to be 0. Whatever is in B, that value gets copied to small. After doing that, I have processed B. I need to check C. So I come here. Is minus 3 less than 0? Yes. So small is replaced with minus 3 or 0 is replaced with minus 3. This is the last number I have processed. Once I process this goes here. I come down and I print small. When I print small, it's going to print minus 3. If I put small in double quotes, then this small message is going to be printed. So just understand the difference. When you use double quotes, the message as is printed. When you without the double quotes, the value in that particular memory location or variable is printed. You can take a look at this flow chart, give different combinations of numbers, okay, and see whether this works. Okay, this can be 3, this can be 1, and this can be 2. So try it for this and go through the flow. This is how you will learn logic. What you can do is, if you want to challenge yourself, try to draw a flow chart to find the largest of 4 or 5 numbers. You will get a hint of it. You almost have to do it the same way.